Hello, all you beautiful people, and welcome to this heart opening yoga flow. Super glad you're here and really looking forward to today's practice. Let's start by finding a comfortable seat. And as always, we'll just start with a moment of reflection. Why we stepped on the mat today, why we chose to practice, and if there's anything we're looking to get out of practice today. Whether you're looking to let something go or call something in, do so now. Hold it at the forefront of your heart and let it be what guides today's practice. And let's start with some really expansive breaths. What I mean by that is imagine that your body was expanding in all directions each time you breathe in. You're filling up with prana, with life force energy. And every time you exhale, all of that energy is coming back to your heart center. And we'll take a few of these intentionally expansive breaths. Breathing into the intention that you set, allowing your mind to start to drop into your body. And let's get ready for movement. On the next breath, we'll sweep the hands up towards the sky, pause, palms face one another, and draw the hands down to Anjali Mudra. Again, inhale, hands up towards the sky, palms face one another. They come to touch and draw all of that energy into your heart center. Inhale, arms sweep up, gathering all the energy. And exhale, draw it into your heart center, Anjali Mudra. Inhale those hands back up towards the sky, keeping the palms connected as you take a bend at the elbows for prayer behind the head. Draw those elbows towards the back of the room, towards the back of the mat, hugging the low belly and the ribs in as you open through the upper chest, lengthening from the tip of your tailbone all the way to the crown of your head. Extend the hands towards the ceiling and bring the left arm to the opposite knee. Right arm hooks up the low back for a seated twist. Keep your shoulders stacked over your hips. And come back. Through center, arms sweep up towards the sky. Right hand comes to the opposite knee for a seated twist. Lengthening through the crown of your head, sitting up tall. Release the twist, and we'll meet in Virasana, seated on our knees. Interlace the hands at the low back, squeeze the elbows in towards one another, and extend the hands and the arms down towards the ground. Again, hugging the low belly and the ribs in as you allow the expansion to come from the upper chest. Stay here, start to fold forward into a modified Balasana child's pose, either keeping the hands at the low back interlaced or choosing to extend them up towards the sky or anywhere in between. Pause the video if you'd like to hold that for longer, otherwise let's come back into Virasana. Release the arms and sweep them up towards the sky, and exhale, open out into goddess arms. Let's flow through straight arms and goddess a few times, moving with your breath. Inhaling, the arms straighten, palms face one another, and exhale, take that bend in the elbows and open through the heart, through the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Pause with goddess arms, engaging Mula and Uddiyana Bandha. Release the arms and we'll meet in tabletop position. Find correct alignment, stacking your shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees, and let's flow through 3 rounds of cat and cow. I encourage you to invite in any organic movement. Invite in anything that your body is asking for. As you come into cat pose, rounded spine, chin to chest, hold and we'll come onto the fingertips, really rounding through the back side of the body, creating space between the shoulder blades, breathing life into the back side of our bodies before coming back into tabletop and finding modified side plank. Standing that right leg, sending the left leg long, left fingertips towards the sky, and bring the bicep to the ear. Let's flow. On an inhale, we'll lift up, right fingertips to the sky. Pause and exhale, come down. Let's do this a couple more times. Each time you come up, use your core strength. And find the rhythm with your breath. Notice if there's any places that need extra attention, extra care, and pause there. Next time you bring the right hand down to the ground, left fingertips reach forward, lift the left toes off the mat, reaching before taking a bend in the knee and grabbing the ankle. Starting to kick into the hand to help open through the chest for a small back bend. Release the back foot and step it to the top of the mat for a low lunge. Sweep your hands up to the sky. Sinking weight into that front knee, but not allowing it to pass the toes. Bring the hands to interlace with the low back. Extend the arms towards the ground, open through the chest, still engaging Mula and Uddiyana Bandha to protect the low back. See where you still need to soften. Face the jaw, the mind. Release the hands and come back into tabletop position. Straight into modified side plank. Extend that left leg, right leg long, fingertips to the sky, and bring the bicep to the ear before lifting up and finding our flow. Whenever you come down, the bottom hand is just there for support. We're not dumping our weight into it. Let's take a couple more of these. Take your time and know there is no rush. Last time, we'll meet with our left hand to the ground. We're reaching from fingertips to toes as we lift our right leg off the ground. And stay here or find the back bend, reaching around for the ankle. Start to kick into the hand, open through the chest. Breathe, release the back leg, step it forward for a low lunge. Sweep the hands towards the sky. Open through the chest, sink weight into that front knee. And when you're ready, interlace the hands at the low back with the opposite pointer finger, index finger on top this time. Squeeze the shoulder blades together as you open through heart center. And when this feels complete, release the bind, bring your hands to the ground, step back for tabletop position. Right leg will extend behind us, toes are tucked, and we'll rock forwards and backwards a couple of times, engaging that right leg from glutes to heel. And find stillness. Lift the back leg off the mat. Extend the opposite arm forward. Reaching from fingertip to toes, we'll exhale and bring the elbow to the knee. Inhale, extend, reach. Exhale, tap, hold. Inhale, extend. Exhale, tap and hold, and pause. Round through the spine. Extend. Another opportunity for a heart opener. Reach around for the ankle. Stay here with the heel near the glute or start to kick into the hand and lift through the chest. Look forward. Where attention goes, energy flows. Release the bind, step the right foot to the top of the mat for a deep lizard lunge, and roll up through the chest, opening the heart to the front of the mat. Bring your right hand to your knee, come onto the outer blade edge of the foot, and start to twist towards that front leg, really sinking into the hips before coming back through center and option to come down onto the forearms. Do your best not to compromise the integrity of the front leg if you come down onto your forearms, meaning keep that front knee stacked over the ankle. And again, notice where you can soften. Notice if your breath and your intention are still guiding you. And if they aren't, just come back to them. No pressure. Come back onto the hands. Take a bend in the back knee, reach around with the right hand for the top of the foot, and start to kick into the hand as you open your chest towards the sky. This can be as small or as deep of a back bend as you choose. There is no right or wrong, only what works for you. Another breath. Release through the back foot. Tuck the back toes for pyramid pose. Step that back foot forward and walk the front foot to the center of the mat. Back heel spins down. Inhale to a flat back and exhale, fold over that front leg. Really engaging the quad to help lengthen through the hamstring. And you can inhale to a flat back and exhale, fold a couple of times to really lengthen through the spine, to the back side of the body. Connect to that place of stillness. And let's plant the hands on the ground and we'll sweep the right foot up to the sky for three-legged dog. Reach the toes towards the sky before taking a bend in that knee and dropping the heel towards the glutes. Drop your chest to the ground and look underneath the right armpit. Adho Mukha Svanasana. And bring both knees to the ground, tabletop position. Left leg extends behind us, toes are tucked, rock forwards and backwards a few times. Engaging that left leg. Lift the back toes off the mat. Extend the opposite hand forward, reaching from fingertips to toes, and on your exhale, crunch and bring the elbow to the knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, tap. Inhale, extend and reach. Exhale, tap and hold, rounding through the spine, pushing through the supporting hand. Inhale, extend, lifting up, reach around for the back ankle. Keep the heel near the glutes or start to kick into that hand as you lift through the chest and look forward. Release the back leg as you step it forward for deep lizard lunge. Left foot to the outside of the mat. Roll the chest open. Left hand to left knee, coming onto the outer blade edge of the foot as you twist towards that front leg, sinking into the hips. Release when you're ready. Option to come down onto the forearms. One side is always tighter than the other, so feel free to start on hands and slowly make your way down onto your forearms. And breathe. See if you can settle into this deep lizard lunge even more than you did on the other side. Like, really give yourself permission to just be here in this pose, in this body, in this breath. Last few breaths in this pose. And we'll slowly make our way onto our hands to take a bend in our back knee. Reach around with the left hand for the top of the foot and kick into the hand to start to open the chest towards the sky. Release the back foot or pyramid pose. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee, step that back foot in and spin the heel down as you walk the front foot to the center of the mat. And we'll lift and lower a few times, inhaling to a flat back and exhale, folding forward and leading with the heart. And when you're ready, find stillness. Starting to lift through the chest, plant the palms, sweep the left foot up towards the sky, three-legged dog, reach the toes towards the ceiling before taking a bend in the knee and dropping the heel towards the glutes. Extend the toes up towards the sky and step the left foot forward, the right foot follows. Inhale to a flat back, bring your hands to the shins and pause for a moment. Envision that the tailbone and the crown of the head were reaching in opposite directions as you extend the spine. Fold forward, bring your hands down to your ankles and drop the crown of the head towards the ground. Forward fold, releasing any and all tension to the backside of the body. Release the ankles and we'll slowly come up to standing. When you arrive, start to circle the shoulders around, concentrating most of the movement in the upper chest and back. When you're ready, start to circle the arms around and bounce the knees each time you come around with the arms. Bring the hands into Tadasana, palms face forward. Hands come to the low back, fingertips facing upwards. Squeeze those elbows in towards one another, shoulder blades in together. And we'll start to look up towards the sky as we push our hips forward. This can be as intense or as subtle as your body asks for. If you feel constriction, come out slightly or really use those expansive breaths to help create space. Coming back into standing, wrap your arms around you, tuck the chin to the chest, and give yourself a hug. Open the arms out to a T and find this hug once more, switching which arm is on top. Release the hands for Tadasana, palms face forward, feet firmly rooted into the mat. Sweep those arms up towards the sky and exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Arms wrap around the ankles. Inhale to a flat back, plant the palms, step back, high plank, and either from straight body or from knees, shift forward on the toes and lower down into low plank. Holding for a breath. Or coming down onto your belly, drop the forehead to the mat and keep the hands underneath the shoulders as you roll up for cobra. Bhujangasana. Push into the tops of the feet to engage the legs. Drop the forehead to the ground, pause briefly. And on your next inhale, roll up once more for Bhujangasana. Squeeze those elbows in towards one another as you shine the heart space forward. Forehead to mat. And we'll roll up once more. If you have the space, you can push into the hands and lift the chest a bit higher. Engage through the whole backside of the body. Still breathing. And drop the forehead to the ground, release the arms. Allow the full weight of your body to be supported by the ground. Part of heart openers is strengthening the backside of the body. So on an inhale, let's lift our chest, reach our hands forward. Drop the hands to the ground. Again, lift, reaching forward with the hands. Come down to the ground. Let's do that again. Lift, reaching through those fingertips. Back is engaged. Glutes are engaged. Breathe. And bring the hands down to the ground. Drop one ear to the mat. Moving into a shoulder opener, extend your right hand towards the long edge of the mat, directly in line with your shoulder, and you're going to roll off onto that right shoulder by planting the top leg into the floor. Sole of the foot is connected to the ground. You can use your hand, a fist block, as a support underneath your head to protect the neck. If you need more time, feel free to pause the video. Otherwise, we'll roll back through center and extend the right arm underneath the body, directly in line with the shoulder, and surrender the full weight of your torso on top of that right arm for a brief counter stretch. Really allowing your body to be heavy. Let's switch sides. Left arm extends out directly in line with the shoulder towards the long edge of the mat. Roll onto that shoulder and use a fist or a block underneath your neck to support your head. Feel yourself reaching and really active through that planted arm. And when you're ready, roll back through center, find the counter stretch, left arm underneath the torso. Surrender the weight of your body to the floor. Taking a few deep breaths. Coming back to that intention you set at the beginning of practice. Letting go of any judgment or expectations you have of yourself or of your practice. Let's take a couple final back bends here on our stomachs, bringing the hands underneath the shoulder. This time we'll lift up for any variation of cobra or up dog. Feel free to push into the hands completely as you shine the heart towards the front of the mat. Keep your legs engaged, your neck long, your breath intentional, your forehead soft, your jaw relaxed. Roll down, bring the forehead to the mat. We will find Bhujangasana with hands interlaced at the low back. When you're ready, extend the arms, lift through the chest, lift the feet off the floor. Long line of energy from crown of the head to tip of the toes. Release down to the ground, windshield wiper those feet from side to side, finding release. Swaying the legs and the hips from side to side. A couple more times before dropping the legs down to the ground. Surrendering the weight of your body to the floor. Full release. Feel your heart beating against the ground. Let's take one more heart opener here, preparing for a bow pose. Bend through the knees, reach around with your hands for the tops of the feet, and start to kick into the hands as you lift your chest off the mat. Open your heart to the front of the room. Keep the neck long and kick into those hands even more to lift up through the torso, through the chest. If you've lost connection with your breath or this brings any sort of pain, please find a child's. But altogether we will release bow pose, sway the hips, the legs from side to side. Let the whole body be so heavy against the floor. Stay on your belly as long as you'd like, or take a child's pose if you need. Otherwise, tuck the toes, hands underneath the shoulders. We'll push up into high plank. And lift the hips for Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Start to pedal the legs, taking a bend in one knee and then the other. Exploring your body, exploring the state of mind you're in. We'll drop the right heel to the mat and hold. Switch sides, left heel to the mat and hold. And now both heels to the mat. Let's prepare for a wild thing. Bring the left toes to the sky, take a bend in the knee. Start to shift the torso forward so it's stacked over the shoulders, and we'll drop that left foot behind us. Toes are touching the mat as we lift our hips towards the sky and reach through that top arm, opening through the heart. Be curious and notice what sensations arise, where they arise. And when you're ready, we'll start to flip back over and we'll step that left foot to the top of the mat, turning towards the long edge for a wide-legged forward fold. Turning the toes in and the heels out just slightly, bring the hands to the ankles and draw your chest down towards the ground. Engaging those quads to lengthen through the hamstrings. Feel free to shake that head out yes and no a couple of times. We'll have another chance here, so let's lift through the chest, turn towards the back of the mat. Lift the right toes to the sky, take a bend in the knee for a wild thing. Starting to shift forward, shoulders stack over the wrists. Drop the right foot behind you as you extend long through that right arm, pushing into the feet to help lift through the hips, keeping the heart open towards the sky. Let's flip back over, right foot steps forward, wide-legged forward fold. This time a variation where we walk our hands out in front of us, dropping the chest to the ground, almost like a wide-legged downward facing dog. Make sure your hips are stacked over your heels. And let's reverse this, walking the hands through the legs, dropping the crown of the head towards the ground. And let's prepare for headstand. If this isn't in your practice, feel free to take any variation of wide-legged forward fold. We'll bring the forearms down to the ground, interlace the hands, crown of the head to the mat. And when you're ready, you can lift those toes off the mat. And of course, feel free to do this against a wall if you need. Take any variation with the legs, it's not important. Just make sure that most of the weight is in your forearms and not in your neck. Otherwise, core is engaged, legs are engaged. And just let some of that blood rush down from the toes back towards the heart. Feel free to lower down whenever you're ready into a child's pose, completely surrendering the weight of your body to the ground before rolling up into Virasana, Hero's Pose. Hands resting gently on top of the knees for a moment of reflection. And we'll take one final back bend, Ustrasana or Camel Pose. Coming onto the knees, which should be hips width distance apart. Bring the hands to the low back, fingertips face up, similar to how we were when we were standing. Hug those elbows in towards one another as you push the hips forward and shine your heart towards the sky, pushing as much or as little as you have space for. Option to bring the hands down towards the heels. It's a little bit easier if your toes are tucked. Feet are pointing straight back. Hands are gently placed on the heels to feel a lift through the chest and the shoulders. Push those hips forward. Make sure you're breathing. When you're ready, we'll come back to our knees. Hips resting on top of the heels. Round through the spine, tuck your chin to your chest for a seated cat pose. A little counter stretch. And finding a neutral spine once more. Pausing, noticing if anything came up, or if there's any last minute poses you need or want to take before we roll down onto our backs. Lowering all the way down, bring your feet hips width distance apart and drop the knees from side to side. Finding release through the low back and through the hips, through the knees. Pausing at any point, taking your time as there's no rush to get anywhere other than here. Walk the feet to the long edge of the mat and drop the knees in towards one another. It's okay if they don't make contact, but slowly releasing through the tops of the legs, through the hip flexors, allowing your attention to rest wherever it is that you're feeling sensations in your body. And we'll prepare for a supine twist, walking the feet back into hips width distance apart. Left leg stacks on top of right. Drop those knees over to the right side of the mat. Arms are out to a T. Feel free to look over that left shoulder if it's comfortable for your neck. And you can stack the right hand on top of the knees to help give yourself a gentle assist. Breathing deeply into the belly. Noticing where you're feeling constriction, seeing if you can breathe into it. Let's switch sides. Right leg stacks on top of left. Drop the legs over to the left side of the mat, looking over that right shoulder. If it's comfortable for the neck, otherwise looking up towards the sky. The twist is coming from the belly button as you keep your shoulder blades connected to the ground. Taking a few of those deep belly breaths, filling up with prana, with life force. Now is the time for any last minute poses. Otherwise, we'll draw our knees in towards our chest and curl up into a little ball, wrapping the arms around the shins, taking a deep breath and sighing the air out into Savasana, corpse pose. Legs are wide, arms positioning of your choice. Release control over the breath. Allow it to return to normal. Feel the whole weight of your body surrender to the ground. Releasing any tension through the forehead, the scalp, the jaw. Stay here as long as you'd like. Otherwise, we will seal practice together by coming through seated, taking those few moments of reflection, becoming witness to our state of mind. Bring the hands to heart center, ending practice with a moment of gratitude, and in honor of the yogic lineage, and in honor of one another, we bow.